Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to the channel and to your reading, Capri. We are going to connect with your energies. I am going to begin your reading with a message from the angels to see what the angels want to tell us. I feel that changes are coming for you in these next few hours, and I want to see what it is about. Let's see what the angels tell us. Well, changes are coming regarding financial matters, regarding work matters, and that makes you feel liberated from a certain restriction. And it is also a moment for you to make decisions based on what is something that leads you to act with great intelligence. The Seven of Pentacles is a card that is speaking to us of consequent progress. So what is happening? When the Seven of Pentacles appears, everyone talks about patience and they talk about us having to wait for that harvest. Because if we cut the harvest before it's time, obviously we're not going to be able to enjoy it as if it were cut at its due moment, right? Things have a process, and you, as you are an energy that obviously accompanies this process, have been doing it very intelligently, right? You know that you have to take charge, you have to remain conscious, but it is also a moment where you could have an active wait, and there that patience would transform into something that does not make it so heavy for you, because you could first be occupying your mind with seeing how everything you did up to this moment, and that led you to the situation so good, so expansive, prepares you for the changes that are coming. In other words, I need to start looking at how I can plan out my following steps, right? I need to figure out exactly how I am going to invest what I am about to have in my hands. I am currently on the verge of finishing something meaningful, so I am obviously taking the time to evaluate everything that I am about to receive. I am carefully weighing all of my options so that I can move forward with total clarity and true purpose. I demonstrate patience in the face of the process because I have to reap an excellent harvest. And you're going to pull it off, I have no doubt, because this is also going to free you from a situation you felt was, this just cannot go on any longer. I need this outcome to open myself up to the new. I need to see how I work through the situation. To achieve a different result, you are currently looking for fresh paths and brand new ways to genuinely open your heart and welcome all of the positive changes that are waiting to manifest in your life right now. That is why death announces the end of a situation, which is necessary and very, very, very good. In this sense, death is a card that speaks to us about that transformation which sets us free. It is a transition that truly clears the path for something much better ahead. That after a moment of precisely a stop comes the renewal. So, well, prepare yourself for that renewal, for that change. That end of a stage is going to bring us something that obviously prepares us for a new beginning. I have absolutely no doubt about that, right? And it is truly important to maintain a sense of detachment from this whole situation. That is precisely why the death card appears before us, to speak about that critical moment where life changes are inevitably meant to arise. You must understand that these shifts are natural and necessary, helping to clear the path for the transformation that is waiting to begin. So be that as it may, way is made, Capricorn, for a new stage of life, a very opportune stage for you to be able to develop better in a new version, with a new vision, with an accurate mind, with a mind cleared of doubts, with the truth, because you are going to adapt easily to new conditions. So you are achieving something perfectly, you are changing something that is necessary, and you're going to receive a benefit for that. So, well, you really are being conscious that this moment must be gone through, be that as it may. And this also arises from the hand of a great truth, because it may be that the Ace of Swords reveals something important to us. That which is revealed to us be as opportune in this moment as it is necessary to evaluate how I continue forward with this, because evidently, from here, Capricorn, you are going to receive something. So this end of a situation, I like that you have it, because if you end a situation, it is not that, how can I say it? It is not that you do not care about ending the situation, but that it frees you even mentally. It pulls you out of the confusion and the energetic weakness you may be feeling right now. It even brings you new ways of thinking, as it automatically provides you with mental clarity, determination, and analytical thought. It is exactly what you need to move forward with power. And this you also take as a triumph because you cut with this. You leave this in the past. What no longer works for you is finished. What has already fulfilled the cycle for you is finished. You are now devoted to what is a process and a beginning loaded with strength and determination. So you move to action now in a resolute way. You face something, an adverse situation, a conflict, you perform a cut if it has to be performed, to eliminate, to separate, to clarify, and it is something in a definitive manner. This puts you in a place of advantage, of triumph, and above all, also of benefit, because it represents that moment you were waiting for. This is the moment where everything happens. It is the moment where everything that you, Capricorn, truly need to manifest is authentic, whether it is your work, your relationships, or anything else on a personal level, must finally come to light, right? You have the right perspective, but you must also consider what is being revealed to you, especially if you truly need to know for certain. Well, you yourself have that possibility of knowing it. So it is like you are very awake, but your thinking is so correct that it changes completely the emotions that have been conditioning you in the face of situations of doubt. You are connecting with that sense of truth, be that as it may. You are freeing yourself from obstacles, you are freeing yourself from limitations, and you are coming out of confusion. You know that you are marked for what is a new stage of life and order, right? And above all, a lot of lucidity. Also, one must know how to discern a lot, because perhaps you want to preserve something, but you must also be conscious that you need to renounce something. That is, let go of something, let that die, let death take it away. So in this truth or in this situation, you are also going to say yes to what you must say yes to and no to what you must say no to. That is why the Ace of Swords is so forceful. And it is a sword that has a double edge, right? It represents a willpower in action and the power of a well-made decision. But sometimes, obviously, if we say no when we always said yes, we can generate some pain. But that is no longer our issue, Capricorn. It is the other person's issue. Communication issues may be being settled. It may be that Capricorn is opening new possibilities, or this new cycle gives him enough to have that impulse to connect through what are social networks. I see opportunities here for you to further your personal development in your career, for example. These are moments where you might be perceiving things from a completely different perspective, where your path is being smoothed out in some way. This is especially true if you had been feeling trapped or stuck on a specific matter related to gathering information, perhaps something involving study or maybe a research project. It could even be something directly linked to your professional life, or perhaps a task that requires you to be actively engaged online. It is about those areas where you need to be present, visible, and connecting through the various digital platforms that are so vital for your growth right now. These shifts are helping you clear the way so that you can navigate your work life with much more ease and clarity. I think that also it is like you can reach something that has to do with answers that are also true, because you are also handling true sources in whatever field, right? That is why the Ace of Swords communicates. It relates closely to communication and the internet. Well, I have the Devil card here. I have the Wheel of Fortune card. That is you. And the Page of Wands, the card of your arcana. Everything is there. And it is all about that connection and your current transformation. Your arcana came out. If your arcana comes out, the energy is totally aligned with what is this beginning, this transformation. What I see here is that the Devil places you in a place of privilege, right? Because it is next to the Wheel of Fortune. That is all the changes that are coming for Capricorn from here on out are changes that make him feel secure, make him feel abundant, make him feel in some way really aligned with his purpose, with his desire, conveniently in the most opportune place he could expect, with the person or the most opportune and most convenient people for this new reality. And above all, using all his tools, all his weapons conveniently for himself in a way totally aligned with what is the change. There is no way that Capricorn does not get his way. So I would tell you to prepare yourself, because it is a moment where you are freeing yourself from complicated situations. That is why I told you you are becoming conscious of the beginning of your liberation, and you are recovering your freedom. So it means you are realizing that you have been trapped in certain issues, habits, relationships, beliefs that in some way limited you or stagnated you. And today, life places you beside the Wheel of Fortune so that you are truly ready to connect with the ways that will allow you to move beyond that point. And you are also securing your exit. You are realizing that in some way you are starting to grasp the opportunities to start to strengthen yourself again, so as not to repeat the experiences of the past that tied you, conditioned you, and limited you. And above all, because you are overcoming complicated situations, economic situations. You are also overcoming in some way situations in which you did not have control in your life. You are cultivating constructive and healthy thoughts. And remember that you are setting limits, you are setting limits. Well, I see that the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil lead you to impressive movements to give free rein to certain things, because you have the Page of Wands here. Everything is moving in your life. Everything, absolutely everything. Yes, it will be important. Death and the Devil. Yes, this energetic unlocking will be important. Many of you will feel the energy lighter, because I also see that your energy is unlocking. So all the circumstances, even those of day-to-day life, start to move, those that until today could not move. It is that you are moving, and you are also freeing yourself from ties. You are venturing into other things, into other routines. You are venturing to make changes, evaluating and moving and renewing yourself, investing things, investing time, betting on new projects, betting on risks, on positive risks regarding things that you feel are going to evolve or are going to change, because you are going to move in pursuit of what is this opportunity. Here it speaks of a good investment or of an economy that speaks to us of a gain. This is very well accompanied, so it speaks to us that you are going to have a gain. It speaks to me that something can evolve. We are talking about the possibility that a relationship you are in which has a very strong connotation on a physical level. That person may desire you very much, and you may also desire that person, and this is evolving. This is evolving. It is evolving toward happiness. It is evolving toward shared projects and joys, toward the dynamism of a relationship. It is just that I think that you and that person are going to talk to see what we do if we go bit by bit giving a little more interest to this relationship, committing ourselves a little more in this relationship, not only from an intimate place, but also sharing something else. Because I feel that life is placing really very favorable changes for you to take advantage of. And if you are interested, here there is an invitation to have a dialogue with a person where obviously you are going to speak with the truth because the Ace of Swords is present. Surely the Page of Wands will bring you the opportunity to see what happens if we jump into having another type of relationship. That in addition to having a good moment with this person whom we obviously like on a physical level, we can also have a more open communication, and that it also excites us to connect with the person from another place. Yes, there is a strong need that also moves you to express yourself, that you start to feel more secure, more attractive, more charismatic. They also place you in a position of leadership. Capricorn, a natural leader. While you are infecting several people with enthusiasm, you are more spontaneous. You see how important it is to wait? It is so important because it also ensures that you find yourself at that moment where you see that you can begin to walk your path and navigate the initial stages of something that will truly resonate with you in your work and in the investments you choose to make, or also with a relationship. I think that what is going to happen is that you are going to realize, or you are going to become aware of how your desire is awakened within you, or the desire that leads you to what could be something that you say, I never thought rather that this was going to happen to me, or that I was going to desire, or that I was going to like, or that I was going to be in this place. This has a lot to do with encouraging yourself to communicate your desires and speak about your feelings. That is why I also see an open dialogue with this person, and above all, a mature one, because it speaks to me of transparency, which could also be what is appearing through the Page of Wands. Good news is coming for you without a doubt in this place. That is a sign of very good news that you are waiting for in that specific place of your life. In that way, right, it tells me that all of this also leads you to realize that it is possible that you may have to maintain a certain order or care above all to be consistent precisely with this plan of action that you're going to take from the forceful clarity with this Ace of Swords, yes. It speaks to us of a possibility on your part to remain open, to get in tune with ideas, with feelings, and also with people who want to join you to transform some desire into reality. Because the Page of Wands is an opportunity that also that arises rather through another person. So it brings an opportunity, and that can also be a moment for you to launch yourself into that initiative, right? I am the angel who descends to give you support, sustainment, and confidence. You must be strong because we, your angels, are blessing you with new energies from heaven. Trust because today you have security and confidence. Capricorn, I love your reading. For that, I am going to ask you to trust so that this reading is decreed and that you give thanks because this is already in your life.